that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real Talk with Lavi covers it all. Let's get real. Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real Talk with Lavi covers it all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. welcome back to Real Talk with Lavi. Hey, I just want to tell you guys thank you for your patience and for our late start, but tonight is going to be wonderful as usual. Um, I'm a bit under the weather. I think maybe I might have a hay fever or something, but I did take something for my allergies, so you're going to be hearing my voice sound a bit sexy. Good evening, St. Kitts. How you doing? Good evening, Radio Land. Good evening, Internet Massive. I am back here to present Real Talk with Lavi. And this evening, I have a special guest with me. His name is Shaquille Gumbs. And Shaquille is going to be sharing his story from a tender age as to what transpired from a baby and where he's at today. I think this is a very good time to, if you're just in tune, to share the page and bring your friend, bring your family, because this is going to be an interesting topic. We don't normally have locals to come on and share the stories. Just this morning, I was listening to a program, actually on Freedom FM, with Jamie and a doctor, and they were speaking about fibroids. And what I get from the message was a lot of people are not comfortable like sharing their personal things. And I could understand that because sometimes we want to get the story out to help somebody else, but sometimes we as the person that is going through that situation at the time, it takes a lot of, I would say, guts. And, we live in a small environment where people sometimes, even when you're doing good, people some people take it good and some people use it against you. So when we have people coming up to share the story, I welcome them, and I can't wait to hear Shaquille's story. But I can tell you this much, it's very touching, it's real, it's transparent, and I believe that a number of you will walk away with something good tonight on the Real Talk with Lavi. This is saying a lot about Real Talk with Lavi because more and more people are coming on and they're opening, themselves up to, be a part of an informative program that can help better our people in our small island. So I'm happy when people reach out and they want to come and share the stories for positive cause that can help someone else. So once again, it's a pleasure being here. My name is Lavern Gumbs, and I am from the island of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I just want to say a wonderful good evening to the folks up there in St. Peter's. Yeah, that's my hometown. But I also want to touch base with the folks over there in Nevis as well. The surrounding island, St. Martin. I just had a call earlier this morning with a few people from St. Martin. We'll be coming on board with the Real Talk with Lavi. So, and some friends over there in Curacao as well. People want to be a part of the program, which is very good. So I think we are touching people in a small ways. We're getting there. All right, so let us begin. A pleasant good evening to you, Shaquille.
Good evening to you, Lavi Gumbs, and good night to all the viewing listeners and viewing persons online on winnfm and around the globe to you. Good night to each and every one of you.
All right.
And it's glad to be here.
Yes, well, thank you so much. And Shaquille, it's a real pleasure meeting you now. We're not on social media, we're in the real world.
Yes.
And it's very good to know that we are all on the platform, we are out there for whatever cause. But I know that I try to be as transparent as possible and to use my time and my platform that can help and inspire other people. And I met you through social media, even though we are from St. Kitts.
Well, I'm from St. Martin, basically.
And you're from
Born
St. Martin.
but I grew up here.
You grew up in St. Kitts.
Yes.
Right? So you went to school here?
Yes.
Right. So it's just really good to know that being on social media networking, and we can, put a face with the people behind the keyboard, having all the opinions and perspective, and being a part of the networking in this mega social media world. So once again, it's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me.
How was your day, Shaquille?
It was good, quiet, peaceful.
Peaceful?
Yes.
Nice. Any special thing you want to share that you did today, or maybe what you eat, what you start off with? Anything happen fantastic or something that you did that helped somebody?
Well, truly, it was a quiet day at work, basically. I worked down at Sands Complex in the security hut just sort of away from here.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and well, it was a quiet, peaceful day for me. And it wasn't troublesome, nothing. It was a smooth transition flow of work from this morning to this afternoon.
Nice. So you said you work in the hut, so you'll be out there collecting money, giving giving people ticket or charging them for maybe just for 2 minutes.
No. Just letting the cars, letting the workers, who have transactions to do, go by lawyers, whatever the case may be. I let them in, let them out. Easy flow.
Nice. How was it? Did they have any ships in today?
I don't think so. I didn't see any ships
They
in
didn't
today.
see any ships in today, but it was a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day.
A beautiful day.
Yes.
This Wednesday is a hump Wednesday. Well, for me, this morning I find when it was kind of raining, probably last night.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and every time it starts raining, sometimes I get my allergies.
It has happened to me as well. I have allergy too when it comes to raining season, but I don't take my medication for that. So it'll be under control when it comes to my sinuses.
Yeah, well, I didn't take any, just creep up on me, and then I started sneezing. I think this is one thing I must say. I don't have any underlying diseases, thank God, at least for now. But I do have allergies. And when I have it, if I don't take, I do Allegra D. I find that it works very good with me. Some people use different medication, but I find that the Allegra D, and it was prescribed to me by one of my doctors. Apparently, don't have any steroids or anything. That's what they say. But I try not to take it as often and don't rely on these medications. But I did have to take it today, and I'm feeling a little bit better, but you can see I'm still congested. And I drink my bush tea. So I'm big on my bush tea. Eh? Yeah, I start learning some of the bush, the trumpet, basil, sweet marjoram, that's it.
Lemongrass and
Soursop,
cinnamon bush and those kind of stuff.
And some kind of strong man bush and all kind of bush.
Sting-a-nickel. All kind of thing.
All kind of things, yeah. So I am just so happy that I am in the age now, because as a child, I remember my parents used to come with all this bush and every minute bush tea. And I never understand the importance of the bush tea, but it really helped with the mucus. You know, as we get older, we're going to get all kind of things. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And even children, when they're born, children do have mucus because they have all this milk in, you know, they're giving them, and, you know, you could hear it in they're congested and stuff like that. So I'm actually giving my granddaughter, she get a bush tea in the morning and she get a bush tea in the night. At first, she was like, "Oh, Grandma, taste some." She is something else. She is something else. She likes to tell you when something tastes good. Oh, delicious. So she really thinks that the bush tea is coffee. So I had to kind of go along with it. She's one of those American kids talking about coffee, because, you know, you have Starbucks and she see all the advertisement and stuff, and America is big on coffee. So for now, I kind of check her, because I just have to go along with it so she can drink her coffee. And she drink her coffee with her grandma.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I really realized that she don't really have any cold. You don't hear the congestion and stuff like that. So that's working, but I give her the good old salsa.
Salsa bush. Yeah, that's good.
They say back in the days that they give children salsa tea and they knock them out, and then you give them the thing from the thing in the middle, the heart, whatever you call it, and they won't wet the bed. But I don't know if this thing really worked with these children today, because when I give her the salsa bush, she not going to sleep. It's a type of children, you hear? But I know back in the days, it really worked.
Yes.
But nevertheless, folks, you're going to have a good night tonight, because Real Talk with Lavi is allowing people to express themselves and bring their authentic, bring some positive stories out, whether it's on social affairs, politics, relationship, whatever, but it must be something that can inspire other people. We more give information. So you're gonna see me and Shaquille up here arguing. So I bring people that's gonna tell the story or speak upon the subject to give the information, right? So if you know that when you come here to give your information on something and it's not that, well, it's gonna show because Lavi gonna jail you. So Shaquille, you did say that you're born in St. Martin.
Yes,
Tell us
I did.
a little bit about Shaquille. Who is Shaquille Gums?
Well, Shaquille Gums is just a servant of God, a man of God, minister of God, upcoming gospel artist, but I'm mostly into the social media field now. But yes, I did born in St. Martin, and my biological mother got me at the age of 16, and we came to St. Kitts, and she left me in the St. Kitts hospital, basically, and she never came back for me.
Wait, what you just say? Where me left you? You born where?
I born St. Martin.
St. Martin. So how you end up in St. Kitts Hospital for your mom to leave you there? Tell me about that.
That's a good question, you know. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, wow. We just came to St. Kitts, and I think her sister, I'm not sure how the story goes, but I think her sister was living here, and we came here to St. Kitts, and for some reason, she maybe left me with her sister, or she just left me in hospital, and never came back for me. Never.
Wait. Well, how much months?
I was a baby.
Baby. So what? Listen. Oh wait, I'm trying to get this whole story. So she leave from St. Martin and she got you well. How soon that would have been? Like when you were like 2 weeks old or something?
Could be, because I was in the hospital for a long while, until it was 1 year and 5 weeks.
Oh wow. Shaquille, we gotta get the story out, so I ask you, because we got to let the people them know exactly what would have happened to Shaquille Gums from birth up until now. So your mother got you when she was 16 years old.
Yes.
And she came to St. Kitts by her sister. But getting a baby back then, at 16 years old, that's a child also. Where was her parents? That's something that you didn't know.
Exactly.
Right. So how would have that impact your life? Leaving the hospital at what age?
1 year and 5 weeks.
1 year and 5 weeks?
Yes.
And who was the lucky person to get you out of that
Well,
hospital?
it was a lady, a nice, loving lady, by the name of Tridella Davis, and she opened her arms to me when she saw me in hospital, because it was her big son who told her that my mother left me, because my mother is related to her big son. So he heard about me in hospital, and he told his mother about me and told her, you need to get this child out of the hospital and raise him as your own.
Yeah, hold on, dear. Hold on. It is 8:25. You're on with Real Talk with Lavi. Tonight I have here in the studios with me none other than Mr. Shaquille Gums, and he's here to share his story from a tender age and what has transpired with him. And we're going to get a good message out of this, because you're going to see with what Shaquille would have gone through and where Shaquille is today, right? So, Miss Davis, you said is her name?
Yes.
So she raised you and sent you to school,
Yes. She sent me to
nurture
school.
you.
Yes.
And have you had any relationship with your mother?
No, we haven't had a relationship.
Do you know your mom?
I know her. I've seen her many times.
She knows you?
She knows me, but we don't talk.
And how come y'all don't talk? I know she left you there, but after from 16 years old, she will have grown up over the years. And so she never tried to get in contact with you or the person that would have taken you?
No, she never tried to reach out to me, nor the lady who raised me, basically. So I'm thinking in my mind that maybe it's her conscience bothering her, or it's something else during the pregnancy process and leaving the process. I don't know. But I think it's a conscience. Maybe because of my father, because he told me, if my memory serves me right, he found me on Facebook years back, and he told me he only saw me once when I was a baby, and he never saw me again.
So if he saw you once when you was a baby, did he say where he saw you, in St. Martin, or would have been
Well,
in
basically in
St.
St.
Kitts?
Martin as a baby, basically. He lives in St. Martin as well.
Right, so he did not try to follow up to know what was happening to you?
No, but he found me on Facebook some years back.
And how's the relationship between you and your
It
dad?
was good until it ended on a bad note because of my biological mother got in the way and told him not to have nothing to do with me for whatever reason. I don't know.
Can I say this? Because a lot of children will have been caught between parents and their problems or issues. And a lot of men, this normally their first way out to say, well, the mother this and the mother that. But Shaquille, your dad also would have been need to be held accountable, because if his mother said this and that and he really wanted to find his child, he could have tried to find your child. Even when he get to reach out to you, that should not be in at this point, now that you're a grown man, right? And your mother, how is the relationship? I know you said that there's not a relationship, but did you guys ever had any encounter to have a conversation?
Well, we did on countless occasions, and every time we have a meeting together with other people, it's bacchanal after bacchanal after bacchanal.
You know what I see that is happening, because this is very interesting, and it's not just about you, Shaquille. It goes through with a lot of other people. I'm just so happy that you are giving us the opportunity to get the outreach from here that can hopefully help other people, right? Because your mother will have been 16, like I said, and being a teenage mom, if you as a teen don't have the family and the support of other people, right? The right set of people, I think maturity has a lot to do with it, education, and just the way how to, because it all boils down to a blaming factor. But nevertheless, the child is the innocent one, right? And at the age of 16, sometimes some teenage parents don't know how to deal with their mature children, their grown children, especially when they're in the adolescent as well. So even though you might have someone that you call your mother, because of sometimes the age factor and the different level of maturity, she's looking at a grown man and you're looking at a woman that almost look like you. Because I'm sure if you look at both of you guys, you could pass, and maybe people think it's your girlfriend or your sister, your auntie, right? So I'm not going to come here to tell you what to do, but sometimes forgiveness is a lot. It don't happen overnight, but sometimes we have to be the bigger person. And you have seen what is happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis over the years, where you would see where a lot of teenage mother, we will more or less say that fail their children, but sometimes a lot of it is immaturity and lack of being responsible. Right? So I don't know if you want to maybe, if what I'm saying makes sense, if you have
sense.
experienced something like that.
The thing is, I'm the firstborn child from both the mother and father side. I'm the firstborn out of all, because my mother has 6 of us in all. The first 3 of us got 3 different fathers. The last 3 got the same father. My father have 5 others from his end. I'm the firstborn out of all.
Right.
And she is telling me that I'm the one who caused the division in the family, and I'm the one who caused her to be in this pain and suffering when she got me. So I'm trying to see how that is possible. Because if you are 16 and you got me at a tender age, why blame me for that? That doesn't make any sense.
Again, and you could see things like situation like this, counseling and different things plays a role because, as I said, dealing with family, even like siblings and mother and father, cousins, next of kin, it always like very, very difficult. As someone say, you can choose your friends or your family, but you cannot choose your relatives. How was this for you when your mother telling you these kind of things? How did it affect you? Or how did you feel about it?
I felt terrible. So even not knowing my father for years, it took a toll on me because I used to run from church every Father's Day. Because not knowing my father for years hit me very hard, knowing that I didn't grow up with a father in my life, but the lady who raised me played both mother and father role. But still, I wanted to feel the male aspect, father love to me, but which hit me hard for years upon years upon years. And that affected me badly. But I tend to grow up and realize what I'm becoming into a man. So I have to overcome that because I might get children in the long run and they might want the father's love. So I have to change my mentality and show them what the real father's love is because I don't want the generational curse come upon me, upon my children.
Yes.
So it might affect them in the long run because I don't want to leave my children behind. Because whatever transpired back then, I don't want it to transpire upon me and my children to come.
And you know what is so sad? It is really sad when parents and children are so literally at war and siblings at war. And a lot of the things sometimes is pettiness and, as I said, lack of nurture as well because children, most of the time, children pass on their parenting from what they will have grown up in. And that is why we are seeing a lot of teenage, especially single mom. I mean, take for instance, recently we had a missing child at 15 years old, and they have someone that is 4 decades ahead of her age in custody for her, right? So sometimes we want to basically, I would say, look at the parenting, we blame the parents, but sometimes we have to look at some of these people that are getting children. It's not everybody, and I said it all along, it's not everybody that get children can be parents.
So true.
Right? And that is why it's very important, when people going out and having sex and children come, especially when you're young, we expect the man to just take responsibilities. And that is why sometimes the grandparents just step in. So where are your mother parents?
Well,
Have you ever met them?
no. I think I met my grandmother years back in St. Kitts, and all she told me was, I get big and that was it. But she's back in St. Martin, but we don't talk.
You see, so then we're seeing a disconnect with, and not just you, with immediate and extended family. Back in my time, my mom basically took in her son, baby mother, right? So in other words, my mom did her job as a parent, and it was able to help me to pass that along in my style of parenting as well. And it's not easy being a parent because even sometimes when you're trying your best to do what is right, to instill values and morals and that life knowledge into the children, a lot of the children are basically, sometimes we look at in schools, social, I would say the entertainment, what is happening out there, peer pressure among their friends and stuff like that. Because we are seeing a number of people, Shaquille, for instance, born in a home the parents don't smoke, the parents don't drink or do certain bad habits, yet the children come up and go towards that, even when the children would not have had it. But they would have found that, pick up that bad habit somewhere along the way. All right? So tonight, I just want to let everybody that's in tune right now, this is 8:36 right here with Real Talk with Lavi. I have my guest, Mr. Shaquille Gumbs, and he's here sharing his life story. And with his mother, basically he's saying that his mom would have had him when he was in her teens at 16 years old, and she dumped him. And I have to use that word because dump, left, walk away, leave him in the hospital here, and he was in the hospital in St. Kitts for 1 year. I hope what you're saying is right,
Yes.
Because we're here coming here to give no false story.
Exactly.
Right? When we were speaking, I don't want to say it. I want you to be the one to say it because I want to make sure that you're comfortable saying it. But you and I had a discussion, and you mentioned to me that your mother would have threatened you or would say certain things.
Yes.
And do you feel comfortable saying what she would have said and how that impact you?
Yes. Well, at many occasions when we have meetings to see each other, she would attack me verbally, physically, mentally. Even
And how old you would have been at that time?
well, sometime last year or the other year.
So he's a grown man, and she.
Yes. Every time she sees me, it's like it's a problem.
Was this in St. Martin or here in St. Kitts?
Right here in St. Kitts.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Every time she sees me, it's like it's a problem, and I don't do her nothing. Because when I speak the truth, it's like it bothers her. So somewhere along the line, it seems like it going anger into her. Every time I speak the truth, it seems like she doesn't like it. But she don't call me all kind of names like I'm an anti-man, I'm this, I'm that. She don't threaten me. She says she will kill me with gun and all kind of thing.
Your mother tell you that?
Yep. She don't say she planning to take me out to this world and all kind of things.
Why didn't you report it to the police?
I did on countless occasions already, many times, and they said they can't do nothing about it. Because they said it seems like a mother and son situation. So they tell me get a lawyer and get things in place.
Shaquille, have you ever done any counseling?
I did counseling like 2 years back, I think it was, because I was on the verge of suicide. Because
so you'll have had to do therapy?
Yeah, I had to do therapy.
Yeah, because this is a lot to go through from a child and come up and dealing with a mother that seemed to be going through some kind of mental as well.
Because I think I was home, and then for some reason I just tend to break down. I totally break down. Saying that because she's been attacking me for years.
Somebody just messaged and said that she left all her kids. Is that true?
Yes, she left all her kids, but they just talk to her. Because I see pictures on Facebook, all of her other siblings, all of my other siblings, with her, but none with me. So they connected with the mother still. So she turned all of my siblings against me.
And you said that she will verbally say things like even questioning your gender.
Yes.
And what we should have said?
She said I'm an anti-man and kind of thing because she expected me to be like them because they are party people. I'm a Christian person. I'm in the church. And she been attacking me ever since. She been attacked my pastor and his wife already. But they don't take her on because they don't realize the kind of person she is. Because she have a mental problem towards me. And whoever comes in contact with me, she will try to go after them, bash them, tell them keep away from me, and all kind of thing.
Shaquille, hearing your story, it is deep. I never even realized that we have this kind of stories here in St. Kitts. I will listen to this on the big screen out there. And I guess we probably take all of these things for granted because people are human no matter what, but nobody will really think that we have this kind of situation going on here. And I would like to tell you that when you see things like this here now, you have to be the bigger person and know that your mom probably going through something. So you have come a long way, and now don't fight her the way how she's fighting. As you say, as a Christian, you need to pray for your mom. All right, you need to pray for your mom, and not just your mom, other persons who will come to you and attack you. Right? As you say, when they go low, you go high. And someone is saying, good evening to Mr. Carlton. Brian, Antigua is in the house. Bless up, Antigua. Mr. Carlton is saying, courage to overcome, brother. I feel your pain. Thank you for being strong. Good evening with Lavi. Mr. Carlton, Brian, Antigua is in the house. Bless up, Antigua. To overcome, brother. I feel your pain. Thank you for being.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, good evening. This is Real Talk with Lavi.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, what
good
just
evening,
happened?
Lavi.
What just happened here? We had another caller was on, and now we have somebody else is on. So who I am? Who am I speaking to now?
Let me introduce myself. My name is Winston. Welcome.
Okay.
And I'm looking at you and Mr. Shaquille Gumms right now.
Yes.
I heard part of the story, but I didn't get it from the beginning. But most of what I heard, Mr. Gumms, God is great.
All the time.
God is great. And life is a journey. And you have find yourself and your faith in God. The most humble path of direction that you could ever choose. Mr. Shaq, your mother has a mental problem. She is not crazy. People say crazy. She has an instability. Okay? And she really needs help. Because for a fact, based on how you grew up, facing abandonment, verbal abuse, I don't know if there was physical abuse.
Yes, there was physical abuse, yes.
Okay. I'm going to say to you, just like Lavi said, you got to be the bigger person. You got to show your mother love because regardless of what, that's who birthed you. She didn't abort you. She birthed you. And also your dad. So look at yourself as the one to help reinstate some mother and son bonding. Okay? But there might be rejection on her ground because I see your hands open. It's like saying, come unto me, Mom. I forgive you because you've grown, you've overcome, and you're willing to help.
Mr. Welcome. Mr. Welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Sometimes, what you're saying, nothing is wrong with that, but sometimes you have to love people at a distance. Sometimes you can forgive because from what I'm listening with Shaquille, the fact that he's coming here to share his story, it's, and I'm really surprised. We did have a conversation, and I know it was deep, and to be honest, I did not want to go and find out too much because I wanted to get the element of surprise, And there's a lot of other persons out here besides Shaquille that is going through this, and unfortunately, it always lies on the mother. The father get to walk.
I agree. And more than what you might anticipate. But I will close by saying, Mr. Shaquille, just be strong and keep your head high. Your story is one of a story that will inspire other people. You inspire me. And just keep moving on because you have your life to live, Life is a journey. We don't know the future. So we got to be optimistic and come what may and try to be on the upside than the downside. Thank you for hearing me. And I'll yield to other callers. Thank you for
Thank
the
you so
time,
much.
Ravi.
Yeah,
Thank you
Bye
so
for
much.
thank
now.
you so much for that call, Mr. Welcome. I truly appreciate you. I got to say good evening to Miss Cindy Govaya, and I see that Antigua, like I said, is in the house. You
Yes.
know, we have quite a few people from the islands tuning into Real Talk with Lavi, so we really appreciate that. And Shaquille, as you said, and as you can see, your story is inspiring somebody else, because I think what is happening here in our small federation, you know, we tend to look at the greater America and their talk shows, and we don't really get to see and hear enough of our people knowing that we too are going through some of the same situations, are familiar with some of these things. Because you can see some of the crimes that is happening here. I mean,
Yeah.
back in the days, we would have never imagined these kind of things happen. Right now, we have two students that got murdered in this federation.
Wow.
A few years back, a young lady went missing,
Yes, yes, I remember that
and
story.
people were saying all kind of things. She gone by a man, and the child end up dead, and matter of fact, unalive. And the state that they find these children in is not good. We would have never even expected that these things is happening here in our beautiful country. And I feel that it is time, apart from the partying and the prancing and, you know, the vulgarity that we accepting now to be the norm, it is time that we start hearing more stories of our people, of our local people want to share the stories in a positive way and not afraid, because as Mr. Welcome said, you have to acknowledge and know that you're an adult, that your mother would seem as if like she would have some mental situation going on. So sometimes we have to know how to, believe it or not, as painful as it is, we have to go through these situations, sometimes unfortunate situations, and learn how to turn pain into joy and use that to help inspire somebody else. As you said, Mr. Shaquille, that you don't want when you start to get your children, especially with not having a mother and father in your life, to continue the generation curse with your children as well.
Yeah. And let me say this also, that my biological mother also told me that I'm no longer her child. She doesn't want to have nothing to do with me. She said she disowned me. I'm no longer a part of her family. I'm no longer hers. I'm no longer her child. So for that, I just decided to, hey, I'm a big man. I'm just going to just distance myself and live my life.
Right, and Shaquille, as you know, now that you're an adult, you very well know that we as black people, as like I said, this is St. Kitts that we are speaking about. We live here. What we are facing here, other people will face it where they're at too. And this is how we are coming together, giving our small contribution that can motivate and inspire other persons to be better, you know, and know that they're not going through this thing alone. You have to recognize, as I said, that your mother or whoever else, right? When people are unhappy about themselves, they will give it off to somebody else. And maybe she have not really matured. There's a lot of grown adults out there that are not matured, because a lot of people don't seem to understand that life is not just being an adult, is a continuation of working upon yourselves. Every single day you work on yourself to get better.
Exactly.
But what a lot of us are doing is to basically following the vanity and the materialism of this world, and we're outdoing, trying to live upon the surface and hide the external. I know for myself, I have been punched upon, even from in my own families. When you're different, expect that people gonna attack you.
Yeah.
And when you decide not to be basic, especially when we feel that, as I said, we live in a small community, and we always seems to be up in people's business. And if somebody live up yonder and they move, as to better themselves, it's a problem. So I would say, going forward, I can't tell you how to think, but you have done a lot, and even to be coming here where you're at, right? Hopefully, your mom will be out there hearing, or somebody will tell her, and they might not like what is being said, neither, Shaquille. But hopefully, one day, when people reach a stage of wisdom, not everybody gonna get it,
It's true.
right? So I would repeat what a lot of mentors, older people, person that come to my life and has given to me. The positive feedback that people are giving to me and to strengthen me. Sometimes people would message me and say, Lavi, how you doing, girl? I just went and wake up with you on my mind, just out of the blue. And I prayed for you, Lavi. And these are people not even my friends. So sometimes we don't even know that people are there for us. That when we even look at social media and people knocking you down, because if your own mother knocking you down, and you could survive that. But why else you can't survive, Shaquille?
Exactly. I think it was early up in this year too, because I'm into digital marketing. I have my own social media platforms, and a promoter paid me to promote a birthday party for someone. I didn't realize that my mother picture was on the flyer. Next thing I know, she found me on my social media platform on Facebook, and she attacked me and told me don't post nothing for she because she had paid me to do nothing. So I was like, ah. So I messaged the promoter and showed him the message. And he was like, ah. He got vexed one time. So I told him the situation. And he was like, no, this can't be right. So I don't know what transpired, but he said he was so upset when he saw that. Because he promoting to have her birthday bash at his lounge or DJ setting. And attacking me because the promoter who paid me to advertise that for she to attack me.
This kind of things is so wrong for real, and especially, like I said, sometimes if you report these kind of things, it's just going to court back and forth. But that's like being assaulted, you're not this woman just attacking you, no matter what you done, dump you by the hospital, and like that's not good enough. But as the young man said, people are facing mental illness in many ways, emotional, mental illness, right? It comes in all forms. I got to say good evening to Miss Melita Warner. Miss Melita is saying, hi, good night, listening from New Jersey. I feel his pain. Just leave everything to God and he will relieve your pain. You want to answer to that?
That's very resounding words, and I really appreciate you, Miss Warner. And I thank God for you for those encouraging words. And it really comforts me to really be going through this pain for years.
Yes.
It's been hard. I don't know what to say. It had me in a state of depression, state of going through a lot, even not knowing my father for years. It's been a journey, and it wasn't easy for me, basically. From a child growing up, I had it hard. I had it very, very hard. And I don't know how to overcome it, but by the grace of God, I'm still here.
We're getting a phone call. A pleasant good evening. You're on We'll Talk with Lavi. Hello.
Yes, Lavi, this is Winston. Welcome again.
Hi, Mr. Welcome.
To see you, Mr. Gumb, sit there and explain the suffering that you've sustained for all these years. And I'm humbly speaking. It's like I'm crying for you, but I ain't seen no tears for you from your eyes. And it's okay, you don't have to shed it. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm on my way to thank you. A date has not announced as yet. But I am a person who brings people together. I've done it several times. I would like to try because I think my mission is one to bring you and your mother together. I will get it done, and there will be a happy ending. Okay, I shall do that. That's one of my missions that is on my agenda. That's all I can say because nothing better to meet with your father and your mother when they abandon you. And they have a pain too. They are going through a pain. And maybe the pain is what is the way I can unite with my son? And I'm in advance of this vision. It shall happen. Okay? It's not a crime to cry because I'm crying for you right now. I felt it. But like I said, continue to be strong. You have shown me strength, and I've learned from you.
All right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Bye for
so
now.
much.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
Shaquille, I knew that this will inspire a lot of people. This is the first time I am doing a story like this. I didn't even realize how, like, it really touching me. I mean, I always feel like I could put it out to touch other people. And to see you come here and literally, I can see the tears. And this is really a message that needs to be out in our federation because this is not just about Shaquille's story. A lot of other people are going through situation. As I said, a 15 years old child went missing a few weeks ago for over a week. And when they found her, she was unalive. So it shows that there's mental illness is real and it's among our people. It's all over the world through human being. Everyone are going through some kind of mental difficulty, but it's how you deal with it. I don't want to put myself in it, but I can use, I mean, I know you would see my name on social media, how people would hide behind fake profiles and tarnish my name to the lowest degree, all in the name of politics, right? And I am not even no big political woman. I am just an entrepreneur, but also I have a profession as a cosmetologist, and I do a number of different things. I cook, I sew, because this is how I was brought up, to be able to be independent and self-sufficient. I grew up in a family where we do things. I see people working, not just sitting down with a hand with entitlements to just take. And this is what has kept me Shaquille. That's why when people come and they feel that they could just send me trending on social media and through WhatsApp to badmouth me, the more they come at me, I deal with things differently because I have learned how to be confident. This is something that was established in me from a child. It was cement inside of me. Okay? And I'm saying this because mental illness, like I said, is real because when people throw their pain and the evil or whatever they're going through, Shaquille, the person that is receiving it is not everybody is built to be strong.
So true.
It's not everybody can hear bad things about themselves or about their loved ones. People will go in a corner and hide or do, as you said, commit suicide or plan suicidal. A few years ago, we had Masid Siddiqui,
Yes.
suicidal. A lot of people don't know what happened, but when it's already done, they say, oh, I didn't know he was this and I didn't know he was that, because a lot of people are good at hiding whatever they're going through. Because a lot of it is shame. People are afraid to talk and express themselves with these kind of things, Shaquille. And I'm truly honored that you and I had built a friendship on social media. I don't even know you like that. And this is what happening here in St. Kitts in a small environment. If you speak to someone and they support a political party, they brand you. Yet the politicians are mingling with one another. When you and I up there cussing and carrying on, the politician mingling and knocking glass and talking to one another.
Yeah.
Right? And this is a real big issue in here in my country. So persons that will be going through things, we really don't have much people to speak to, Shaquille.
It's true. So true. Because let me say this. Years upon years when I used to go primary school and high school, I never used to talk to nobody. I used to hold the pain inside me. And people used to bully me in primary school and high school. And I used to be alone by myself. I never used to trust nobody. I never used to talk to nobody because I didn't want to put my pain on nobody. Because I have been going through too much. Because not knowing my father for years. I'm going through this pain with my mother. It's been just hurting me.
You know, my daughter said that she knew you in school. And she did say that they used to bully you. And could you imagine it take all these years that you have been carrying this pain? Because have you ever had a chance to express yourself like this ever, Shaquille?
Not like this in this setting. I used to talk to my pastor about it.
Like in church?
In church with people on the outside. I just don't know who to talk to, who to trust, because I had that setting in my mind. I don't know who to trust because people tend to take your business out on the road, switch up things, and I don't want that for me.
And look down
I
at
want
you.
confidential people who can be around me, who can hold the story with them, and just help me with my situation.
Well, this is what I'm going to do for you today, Shaq. I'm going to put my hand out. Hold my hand. You see, from today, it is 9:03. Today, I would say, is a new beginning. Because coming here, this was not planned. And this is a sign, right? Whatever he was going through, nobody, you understand? Nobody can tell you who you are but you. You already went through it. Shaka, look at you, where you are today. You understand? You're working, you're intelligent, and all the bullies. I sure if you look at some of the people who bully you, look at their life today, Shaq. So cry it out, and I'm going to keep in contact with you because my purpose, I have been through it. And I have been through, my pain was a bit different from your pain, but my pain is a lot of grudge, conspiracy, and hate, all because of self-confidence. And I can see that you have confidence and self-esteem, and you're a man of God. So I want today, as I said, you're going to let it out. We're going to do a show. There's a lot of people here that are listening. There are persons that are saying that we're bringing awareness. There are persons that are saying, hang in there, my love. Miss Jackie Allen is saying, Shaquille, stay strong. Verna J is saying, this is so painful, not being loved by mother or father. Stay strong, Shaquille. God will take care of your blessing, brother. So today we're going to get a change. You understand? A pleasant good evening, you're live, and we'll talk with Lavi.
Yeah.
Hello, good night.
Yes, Lavi, this is me again. I am very well in tune with this. Shall I ask you a question? Can I be your brother and you be my brother?
Yes.
I am Winston Welcome. I am your brother. Let the world know that. I will come look for you when I come home. Should God allow it.
Mr. Welcome, you can't be his brother. You could be his uncle or his father.
I am now. No. I am 59 years old.
Yes.
58 to the 59 next year.
He's in his early 30s. He's a young man.
Okay.
I'm just messing
Love
with
you.
you.
You got some punchline, huh? All right. Anything. I could even be your mother. Your everything.
Break,
We
break,
have that money. I do have that money
can I say
somewhere.
something to you, Mr. Welcome?
Absolutely.
Because I know you contribute a lot here in this federation in just calling in, and I do appreciate that. But it's about time. We need our people to put them out, to put them out where the mouth is.
I'm listening.
I just said it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I shall see you when I come.
No problem at all. No problem.
Very sure.
No problem.
Thank you for
Right.
calling again.
There is one song that kept me over the years.
Which one is that?
I'm still here. 'Cause when I was a small young boy growing up, the first time I heard that song, I break down in tears. And every time I sing a song in church or anywhere I minister a song, I tend to break down because it speaks about me.
Well, Shaq, tonight is your night, and I'm going to test my engineer to look for the song I'm Still Here.
Yes, by Bridget Blucher, yes.
So I know my engineer is also a DJ, so we're gonna see if he know the gospel songs and besides the dancehall music and so let me see what he coming down with tonight. So we got him out there sweating. All right, this is 8 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. We did have a late start, and this is Real Talk with Lavi. We're down here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I just want to let everyone know that is in tune. We are bringing real stories, dealing with real issues, and we are finding ways to bring the awareness out in the most authentic. And we are asking you, the public, to be positive, be gentle, be kind with your comments. It's all about motivation and inspiration. Right here on Real Talk with Lavi. I'm still here.
I've been battered, bruised and torn, but I'm still here. Some days my life was filled with fear. Oh, but I'm still here.
All right.
Yes.
We just give you a little piece. We can't play too much. You have the
Yeah.
copyrights and all them
Yes,
kind of
yes,
things,
yes.
But the fact that you was talking about, I just wanted to bring your memories because after tonight, you're going to get your healing. Healing ain't just come in church, you come
know.
from wherever God placed the right set of people in your life.
Yes, it's
And
true.
tonight, you're still here, and we have a whole audience that is here and live. They didn't have to be here with us. You understand? They're taking their time out, and we are seeing that people are actually, Verna is saying, you're here for a purpose, my brother.
Amen. Thank you, Verna, for that.
Yeah, Shaquille, I didn't know, as I said, you are my Facebook friend. I did not know you are so strong and had so much dealing with over the years.
Yes.
But the fact, like I said, that you reached a point where you can let it out is a sign of joy. Yeah, God is working in a lot of ways.
Amen.
Yeah. So would you, any message that you want to give out there, even to your mother? Maybe this is a good time, you already cried out now, you're smiling, and you're going to let your mother know that you're bigger than her. And she too, even if she ain't get at that place where she needs to get, do not let her or anyone take you down in their misery. It's unfortunate. She did what she had to do. She get her children. As I said, parenting is not for everybody, right? And she should be happy to know that despite all the tribulations and what you have been through, you're still here, being able to share your stories that can inspire somebody else right here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes. So, just want to encourage each and everyone who is going through maybe a similar situation. Just be strong. Call upon God if you have to, but just stay strong. Be the best person you can be. Find somebody you can talk to. Find somebody you can trust. Find somebody that you can really pour out your heart to, because it's not an easy road. It's not easy being neglected by your biological parents, neglected by whoever it is. Don't hold it within you, because if you hold it within you, you might find yourself in a suicidal state. You might kill yourself after a while, but that's not the answer. But find somebody you can talk to, find somebody you can trust, find somebody you can confide in. It could be a pastor, somebody, a counselor, but find somebody who is confidential. That is the key in that. Confidentiality is the key in that sentence. We don't want your story to be on the street anywhere, but trust somebody who can hold your story for you. So be the best person you can be, and encourage yourself every time.
Look at you, Pastor. I'm so happy for you. And Shaquille, as I said, right? This world wasn't built for the weak, unfortunately, right? And this is where programs like these and people like you are being able to help other persons, that are weak or going through whatever, to be strong. And knowing that sometimes, as someone will say, when you think you have it bad, someone else have it worse. I always like to share with this story. Maybe some people are familiar with it. I don't know if you ever heard about the man with the banana.
No.
Well, he thought that things were so bad with him, so he had a banana, right? The last banana he had. And he peeled the banana and threw down the banana peel. And when he threw down the banana peel, he see somebody went and grab and take up the banana peel and eat it. The man was so amazed because, like I said, he think that he had nothing else but a banana. And you would have heard about the dog and the bone, where the dog would have had a bone. Well, and he looked in the water and he said, the bone in the water. So you see where I'm going with this,
Yes.
right? So sometimes we never know that what we have until it's gone. And I would say, and I'm not speaking pertaining to your mother now, but this is like for general, mental illness is real. And a lot of people, when they're not connected with the higher power, that's what's going to happen. A lot of people call on God in many ways, and people would sometimes doubt certain people because we ain't look a kind of way, we ain't talk a kind of way. So people that we're looking at and saying that they are Christian, and they look at somebody else and say they ain't a Christian, but yet their actions is worse than the one that they're casting the stones on.
Exactly.
You know the stories in the Bible when they place Jesus on the cross, and one left to him was a beggar, right? And they all repent, and at least that's the story they give to us. But some of these things basically is showing people, right, when you do good, it's going to follow you. And there's some people God will use your story. That is why you had to go through certain things, because he's using you to help somebody else. Tonight, I know many persons would not have even expect that we will have had this, and we'll talk with Lavi. But I think that many people are now recognizing that this program is even beyond me. I just tried to do the platform and hoping that I could get other people to come in. If we can look at the mainstream and other people out there having these programs and we're looking at them, it's sad that we cannot accept our own people testimony when it's real.
true.
right? We are more than just another murder, another missing child, and our teenagers gone astray. Our young boys are just smoking their life away. There's no proper career goals. Some of them look like they don't even have a purpose or knowing what they want to be in life. And a lot of it stems from the elder because mothers or parents are not being parents. And I feel like the family is very disconnect shock. Melita One is saying, let me see. Hi, Shaquille. Walk good and fear not. I'm praying one day your mother will find peace and let go the evil and start to show love before it is too late.
Thank you, Melita Warner, for that.
Right? Shaq, can I ask you a question?
So you can.
Your situation is a story where, a real life story where you would not have gotten any nurture and love from your biological mother. But you did say that a special lady came and took you when you was 1. How was it for her? How was it with being with someone to show you love and nurture? Did you get love? How was it?
I got the love from her, and basically her 2 big children helped raise me as well, along with other family members of theirs who helped build me and raise me in love and nurture. I got all the love I needed.
So you feel that you're comfortable enough, despite what you went through with your biological mother, that you have love for yourself that can be able to give to
Yes.
someone else when
Yes.
that they come for you to
Yes.
be a union together?
Yes.
Because that is very important, where when people are damaged and they have not have loved and they go and they try to, you cannot give love if you don't have any love.
Exactly.
So I'm happy to know that that lady, see, God is still working on your side. 1 full year you was in the hospital. What else do you want better than that?
Exactly.
And people come in and, to see you, and that lady just came up there and took you from there and was able to make a young man out of you, school you. Nice. Okay, I see Miss Amelia Gumbs. Do you know Amelia Gumbs? She have the same last name like you. She
I
said,
have no idea.
she said, be strong, Shaq.
Thank you, Amelia.
Shaq, one thing with women, we love to give love there. Yeah, man. Yes, one thing with our women, we don't come true. We're not afraid to extend love to our men. And it's unfortunate that we are seeing too often, sometimes in situations where men are mentally disturbed and women and even men are going to have to be very careful of the people that we are putting ourselves with. Because like I said, when things turn deadly, unexpected, we don't know what some of these people are going through.
It's true.
Right? Before we close out the show, because it's 19 minutes after 9, I guess we're going to go up until 9:30. I know that you was following the missing young lady. Do you have any advice that you can give to maybe a young woman out there? And I'm saying that because you are a man, and it's alleged that is a male that unalived this young girl, right? Do you have any advice that you can give to maybe an older man, the male, and women out there?
Well, let me say this. For those older men out there, kindly do not trouble the young ladies. If you need someone, find somebody your age, not someone who is underage. Find someone who is like you, not anybody who is under you. It doesn't make any sense troubling someone under your age. So find somebody your age who you can deal with. But killing an underage child is very underrated. And it's not tolerated at all. But men for somebody your age. Stop trouble the young ladies. Because it's a problem we have in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I realize it too. With the young ladies, they tend to go to the big men too. Because I don't observe things, but I don't say nothing. But when the time comes, I will speak my mind. Because the young ladies nowadays, they tend to go to the big man and do what they have to do. The big man, them, same thing. They go to the underage children. And this is a problem. But I don't say nothing, but I observe. Maybe on the next program, I will speak my mind.
Sure. And you would know, again, children do what they see big people doing.
Exactly.
So sometimes these girls do things what they see in the house, or maybe what they see the other peers are doing. And I think that women, when you have a girl child, you got to be very careful as the male that you bring in your children's life, because I always believe that if you have a young child, especially if it's not the father of that child, children are supposed to go and sit down in men's lap, comfortable.
Exactly. There you go.
Men not supposed to be putting their hand on female bodies.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes.
Right? It may be if you're gonna touch even like here,
Yes.
but not too comfortable, like places that is off limit.
Exactly.
Right? And mother is supposed to look at some of these signs as well. So when you're gonna again tell your young children that a grown man is the godfather or the uncle, when you know they're not really biological uncles, aunties, and we comfortable, oh, that's your uncle. I believe to start letting children know who is really uncle than just having every friend come along, that's your uncle, that's your auntie.
Exactly.
So right now, children don't even know who is auntie from your parents' friends, right? So this is another thing that we need to stop confusing children with all these uncles and aunts that is really not uncles and aunts, and godfather. And because it was alleged that the young lady, the 15-year-old child, was unalive in the hands of her godfather.
Wow. And another thing I realized too, parents nowadays are not strict like parents back then. Especially with these phones. Very dangerous. Parents nowadays don't even check their children's phone to see who they're even talking to. And that is a problem again. Because you don't know who you're talking to. Because you need to check your children's phones now and again. Even if they have on a password, try to get into their phones. Try to test them. Demand them to hand over the phone. Because you don't know who they're talking to. They could be talking to a big man, somebody over age, and you don't even know what they're doing. You have them in a room by themselves, you don't know who they're talking to. They're on the laptop doing something out of the way, you don't know. You have to be so careful on what you're doing as a parent.
And you know what I find too, as a parent and with child and protection, one has to be careful, especially in the small islands, where if a mother or parent is disciplining her child, it's a difference in disciplining your child than being abusive. And I think that this is something we need more awareness. I feel like we need to actually start using back the communities often. Summer is coming up. And this is a great time that we should have been having more programs from the people who have the authority to get the awareness out to protect your children. Because it looks like every week, every month is a jam session, is a fest, is a queen show. And, we really need some kind of barriers. But before we close out the show, I was looking at over there in Trinidad with the new Prime Minister, Camilla. And I don't want to say anything, and maybe you can pull it up for me, Shaq, where they're looking at raising the age, the restriction for alcohol from I think is what, up to 21? Age 21. You find it?
Yeah, I think it's, from 18 to 21 years.
From 18 to 21. You
Yes.
want to read it?
Okay.
That is out of Trinidad, right?
Yes, chambers support age increase for alcohol, gambling, and ganja. At least 3 business chambers have weighed in on proposed legislation to increase the age limit for alcohol and marijuana use, as well as gambling, acknowledging the importance of safeguarding young people from the harmful effects of these vices. Karan Singh, president of the Greater San Fernando Area Chamber of Commerce, has come out in full support and suggested that vaping be added to the list of age-restricted items. Vaping has infiltrated the school system. Children from very tender ages are now vaping as they cannot purchase cigarettes. It is a myth that it replaces addictive smoking. Vaping itself is addictive and costly. It also contains dangerous and harmful additives.
Right. So Trinidad, what you're seeing, the Prime Minister of Trinidad is putting some regulations on, I would say, picking
Yeah.
making children be children. So certain things, you say vaping, smoking, alcohol,
Yeah.
right, at the age of 18 to 21,
Yes.
right? And believe it or not, in the Caribbean, this is touristy. So these are places where people come down to drink alcohol and have those kind of fun or whatever, So we got to be careful that we, the people, are not being all caught up with that, Before we close out, I got to say good evening to Mr. Leslie Henry, Mr. Ichel Marley. He's saying that this is too deep. And there's someone is saying a lot of parents don't sit down and speak and have time with their children. And I have a serious concern too. Right down at the West Side Terminal, a lot of people does be their linemen with children and drinking as well. Yeah, so we're going to continue this discussion because I want to touch on mental abuse and emotional abuse. And the effects that is having on our children, especially children that born in the 90s up. So we're seeing children under the age of 19, especially the men, even women.
Yes.
And sorry to say this, but we never used to see this kind of thing being so prevalent in our darker communities.
So true.
Right? You look at overseas and you look at people taking the cocaine and the heroin and whatever. It's right at our doorstep now, and it's people that look like me and you. Right? So we have to have more awareness and let people know to be responsible when they're going out to these functions. Drinking under the influence and then you're going to be driving, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Where people are stone drunk and they go in the vehicles with these people who are stone drunk driving. And that's why you see there's so many accidents. There's so much of things that is happening here that can be prevented. But I want to thank you so much for being here tonight to share your stories. I see that the audience, people are coming in and really into the topic with us. So thank you for coming here. And before you leave, do you have any passing words that you can give to someone else out there?
Well, as I leave, let me say this. Just be yourself. Be strong in the Lord. Find somebody who you can talk to, who you can turn to. Someone who is confidential. And just encourage yourself to be a better person. And encourage yourself each and every day that you have breath. Encourage yourself. Be positive. Think positive. Be positive. Live positive. Walk positive. And just be yourself.
Well, thank you so much. It's exactly 9:30. It seems as if like you was timing us. All right. Once again, thank you so much for being here with Real Talk with Lavi. I am Lavern Davis. And next week, I We'll be having the discussion on mental illness that is plaguing our country, especially among the tender age, the young people, the teenagers. We are seeing and losing too many teenagers for gun violence and mental illness. We got to do better as a people. Thank you so much once again for being here. Everyone that has called in and joined with Shaquille and myself, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Let's Get Real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's Get Real, Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real Talk with Lavi covers all. Let's Get Real, Wednesday